Hello, happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time where we can relax and craft and work on a project together. And tonight we are continuing my Charming Chevrons quilt by Krista Watson of Krista Quilts. And there's John Boy coming in right now. But we're going to continue working on the back of the quilt. I'm using up all of my scraps from the back of the quilt. And you can come through. There we go. Ran through. So I'm continuing the back, and we made this little guy from my front scraps yesterday, and we're going to continue with the rest of my scraps tonight. Deborah, it is a hair warmer today. We are in the 40s today, the high 40s. And it makes the house all weird. Like when it starts to get a little bit warm, then the whole house gets really warm. And when it starts getting cold, then I don't know. So I'm having a hard time regulating right now. So yep, no house sweater right now. All right, thanks again for joining me, guys. We're going to continue on the back of this quilt tonight with the scraps. All right, turning you around. All right. Here is the scrap bin, and we got a few big scraps in here yet, and then we have like all these itty-bitty ones. So let's see what we can do with them tonight. Oh man, I'm not sure what the weather is supposed to be like this weekend yet, Joe. I think, actually I think it might rain is what I heard. Oh, that's better than snow. But all right, so we started piecing a few of these strips last night, but then my bobbin, I ran out of bobbin and it got all weird and stretched. So ran out of bobbin right here. So I'm going to just start up this strip, and then I think we have enough for like one more. Oh, this is smaller. This isn't a full strip, so this must be it. So this is our last big strips, and then we have, what are these? Oh, these are just funny little rectangles. So, all right, I think these right here are only big, long. Oh wait, this one, not this one. These ones are our big long strips yet. So we'll just sew those all together, and I don't know, chop them up. We'll see what happens with them. Maybe we'll leave them as long strips. I don't know. We'll maybe do it a little different than that other chevron that we did. So, all right, let's just get back into it here. Ran out of bobbin. Actually, the bobbin just got kind of caught, so I was almost out of bobbin, and the other end of the bobbin from like starting, that got all tangled up around the like bobbin spool. But we're back in business. I found a bobbin that was already slightly pre-wound with some of this blue, so we'll probably go till this bobbin goes away tonight. We'll see how long it lasts. Then I'll have to wind more blue again. I just need a big, long bobbin winding session, I think. Actually, I might do that because I'm going to be doing, I have this red for the back of the quilt. I'm kind of saving it, though. So maybe I'll just wind a whole pile of bobbins. Like maybe I'll just use up this entire thing by winding bobbins before we start the free motion quilting. Then I'll be good to go. I'll have a bunch of that red ready. Actually, I don't think I need to trim that just yet. Let's snip these last two off. There we go. And I think I can we'll just keep piecing. I can just add those two together. Then we'll press the whole thing when we're done. Ooh, those are cute together. I like those. All right, let's add this to it. Get the leader off of there. What do we got here? Ooh, that's pretty. I think I like it that way. So, all right, let's, oh, we should match up the selvages though. So let's go like that. There we go. And then we will just sew that one last piece on. Maybe we'll just leave these strips. So, you know, the last chevron, the big chevron that we did, we chopped these all up and re-sewed them. Oop, need to turn it on. Re-sewed them together and did a whole pile of stuff. Maybe this one is just a couple stripes that we turn into the half chevron. So a little more simple than the other one. I think that'd be kind of fun to try. And then we can get crazy again when we sew all the teeny pieces together. Oh, I'm loving the fabric too, Gretchen. I'm glad I'm using it all up. So these are all the scraps from the front of the quilt, and I'm using them up in the back. Alrighty. And we have that one piece hanging out here yet. Let's get that guy attached as well. Ooh, that pretty blue. All right. We'll just add it to the end here, I think. This is a lot sewn together, actually. This might be a little bit bigger than we need to make a square. Or maybe we'll make one square. I need 2 squares plus 2 red squares to make that full chevron. So let's see if I can get 2 squares out of this. And if not, we'll cut 1 square and then we'll add to the rest of it to make it a little bit bigger to make the second square. Then we'll use up more scraps. I like the sound of the sewing machine too. That's just a good hum. It's the sound of things being made, and that's nice. Okay, let's give this a press and see what we come up with. So over to the little pressing mat here. Okay, move that chevron out of the way. Don't need him anymore tonight. And then this is that other one that we did the other day where we sewed the strips and then we chopped them all up to make it look even more patchworky. I think maybe we just leave it simple tonight. We leave the leave them as strips. Ooh, they're kind of fun. All right, let's trim this guy off of here. Okay. Mat's not quite big enough for this, so we'll just have to do it in stages here. Just gonna kind of give it a little pull. That way I can press all the seams, and we're just gonna press them in one direction tonight. So this is one reason why the bigger wool mat would have been nice, but you know, I was keeping my space in mind. I'm in this small little space here in the kitchen here. So I just got the small mat, but with a bigger mat I would have been able to press this whole thing on it probably. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to give it a little press on the front as well. Guess we'll go in this direction. It always looks so nice when it's all pressed. You tried to find pictures of the creations you're making. Oh, for the back of the quilt, you're telling some friends that I was making it from scraps. Oh, fun. So I don't think I have any pictures. I just have the YouTube graphics. That's it right now for photos of this, but I'll definitely take a photo once we got the whole thing together. I don't think I really need to press it anymore. I don't think I got this corner though. We'll just do that. I still really love this black with the color on top of it. That's just kind of cool. This one's the same thing, black with color. All right, this guy can go back in its base. And all right, let's figure out what we want to do with this now. So we have, to make a big chevron, we need a square, right? Wow, we're really big here. So we'll also need to cut more red to be equally as big here. And all right, so we have this red here. So we could do it this size again, but I kind of like, we sewed all these together. Let's just make a huge chevron, I think. So we'll make, this will only make half of a chevron though. So we'll have to add on. And you know what? I'm gonna just keep it real simple. We're just gonna do what we did before. I'm gonna just estimate it. Let's just fold on the diagonal here. We're not using any measuring tools tonight. We are just acting crazy. So here we go. I'm making a square. I'm not going to even use a ruler. Let's just use the rotary cutter, go right up along that other edge. There we go. That's a good enough of a square, I think. So this will be one of our half chevrons, and yeah, let's just leave it as strips. I think that's kind of fun. So we need a piece of red that's this big. And okay. Man, I might need to extend my cutting mat a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's just plop this guy on here too. Oh, I might just use a scissors just because I don't have my mat going the entire way. So let's just lay this on here. We're getting real crazy here now. I'm gonna just straight cut this. Going rogue, yep. So I don't mind that I'm cutting, like in theory I'm wasting a lot of this red, right? Like a lot. But we'll be using it all in the back of the quilt anyway. So we're gonna fill in, because all these scraps are not gonna be enough for the entire back of the quilt. So we'll fill in everything that's left over with red. So all these other little pieces of red that we'll have left behind, we'll use them. So at this point, I'm not worried about wasting red, because I'm not. It's all gonna go in the quilt. All right, so we need to, yeah, let's get to two of these the same size. So obviously this isn't the same size, but we'll just keep adding pieces to this until it's as big as this piece, and then those two can match up. I think that'll be fun. I'm gonna use the rotary cutter again, just get rid of the selvage there. Ooh, I think I might skip ahead though. I want to make a half chevron. Slide that up. And I'm cutting two pieces right now. One for this half chevron and one for the next one. All right, that's good enough. There's some extra red. All right, so we have 2 red squares here. One of these is going to be for our second improv piece. So this one we can make already, though. So let's put right sides together. I'm going to put the red on top, just because I'm going to just draw a line from one side to the other on that, because I think it's a little easier than doing it on the piece side, although we're a little shy here. It'll be fine. All right, grab the ruler, grab the pen. So with big pieces like this, sometimes I like pinning it or clipping it with the Wonder Clip, just because it does. Oh, I need a longer ruler. Hold on a sec here. Because bigger pieces kind of get floppy, and so with big pieces I sometimes like to clip it, but I think we'll just deal. Ooh, this is like the biggest square ever, I think, right here, or that I've done. So that's kind of goofy. Bigger ruler, bigger cutting mat. Need bigger everything on here. So, all right, now I'm going to, I could fold. I was thinking of that Bell, but I thought, meh, we'll just draw this line. So I'm going to sew on either side of it now, that 1/4 inch. So let's scooch back down here. I'm excited to see what this one looks like, because it is just going to be huge. Alrighty, let's turn this on. I'm just gonna scream along the edge there. Oop, I'm getting caught. Oop, I don't want to accidentally fold an edge underneath it. There we are, now we're ready. Pedal to the metal. Oh, Debbie, I'm not positive how many people were at the Sulky webinar. So I didn't get an email sent out today for the replay of the Sulky webinar, but I will get it out yet. So if you guys missed it, I'll get an email out for you. Hopefully tomorrow. But yeah, then I might have a little bit more details on it then. All right. Man, I love sewing where you don't have to be so perfect. It's fun to just scream along, and if the seam allowances aren't perfect, then ah well. So I think it's gonna be fun. Oh, you watched today, Bonnie. Oh, that's nice. Oh, you're welcome, Irene. I hope you like the kitty pattern. Yeah. If you guys watched the webinar, I hope you got your free kitty and your free cheat sheet, embroidery cheat sheet downloaded. You got the kit right before the midnight Eastern deadline. Nice, Julie. Yeah, there was a deadline to get the supplies for cheaper, I think. But the free pattern and the cheat sheet, that'll be there always. So I'm just cutting it with a scissors because it's bigger than my cutting mat. It's going to be bigger than my pressing mat too, so this is just going to be a huge half chevron on the back of the quilt right now. So all right, zoop, there is one of the half square triangles. Gosh, I didn't realize how huge this was going to be. And here's the other one. Oh, look, it's going to just continue the stripes. In my brain, it was going to be like was turned, but yeah, that makes sense that it wouldn't be. So, all right, let's give this a press first. We'll have a giant chevron here. Man, this means we're gonna just have a super huge chevron on the back of the quilt. So we just have to improv a piece that's as big as this. So we have that other red rectangle as a guide, so that's good. All right, let's get this pressed. Oh, you like the little buffalo too, Julie? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so you guys also get that pattern, the download from the actual book. You get that for free too. So if you liked, instead of the kitty, if you liked, well, or both, you get that little buffalo cow guy too. That was from the original one. That's actually from the book. All right, here we are. Giant chevron. Giant half square triangle. Definitely never made a half square triangle this big before, so this is kind of fun. All right, there's one. Let's get this other guy. Then we'll sew these fellas together, and then we'll just work on making that second piece bigger and bigger, so we can make this guy's other half. Here we go. That will do. All right, we're getting these together now. All right, so we do need to decide what direction it goes in, but that's fine. Oh yeah, so that's interesting though. We could have it. Ooh, that'd be kind of weird. Ooh, that does kind of match up though. I don't like it big strips like this. I want to do it the other way where they were horizontal strips. So this is going to be this half of the chevron, and the other half will have to go this way. So let's pair these up. And we'll sew along that line, give it a press, and then we'll have a half chevron here. What's all this hiding back here? Oh, this is that other half. So this is what we have to add on to make as big as the other piece. And I think we have enough fabric for that. But that side will definitely be way more improv than this side, which is going to be just perfect rectangles. Got to make sure that I'm along the edge here. Probably wouldn't have hurt to pin these together either, but oh well. When I'm improv piecing, I'm just cutting and sewing, and I'm barely pressing too. And that's why it's relaxing to me. I don't do any of the rules stuff, you know what I mean? And if it doesn't look good, you just cut it and stitch something else to it. Our only rule, really, that we made with the back of this quilt is that it will be chevrons. And I'm not even completely holding tight to that rule. Like I'm not saying that that's the end-all be-all, but right now that's kind of the rule that we've set for ourselves, is that we'll stick to chevrons for now. All right, this is going to be a real big pressing. Get it going there, and then we'll fold it this way. Oh, it's huge. Man, that's a quick way to cover a lot of ground, though. Just make the block really, really big. Fun! Okay, here is our huge half chevron here. I'll get a little higher for you guys so you can see. But there we are, a really big half chevron. Maybe if I turn it this way, you guys can see a little bit better. So it's bigger than 2 feet, that's for sure. So all right, we can actually throw this guy to the side for now. We need to make this piece as big as this square here. So this is that square, that other square that's going to make the other half chevron. So we just need this piece to be as big. So we need to basically fill in all this area. Actually, we could just put red there and make some weird chevron that gets kind of cut off, and I actually kind of really like that idea. But let's see what we got with scraps first, because this is all about the scraps. So let's get the little bin out here again. First off, I think I'm just going to trim all these salvages away and call it a day on the salvages. So we have a little bit of a clean sewing area. All right, and now let's see what we got in here. So we did this little piece. In theory, that could get sewn on here, but we need it bigger before we can do that. We have all these. So I think this might be the route that we might need to take. So we might maybe sew 3 of them together, and then we could do like 3 this way. I think we have plenty for that. These are kind of salvages. Ooh, there's this big piece. Not quite big enough to go the whole length, but if we just need to add just a hair there, you know? And we could do that with some salvages too. Let's just start out by sewing these 3 together. Oh, here they are. I knew I had like some more pieces like that. Let's see, how many pieces do we have? Oh, and 3 more. Okay, let's do 3 sets of 3, and then maybe we can move them around, and maybe that will be enough to finish out this square. I think that's a good start. These are the next biggest scraps right here, besides this random 1 big piecey scrap. And then the rest, then we're getting really small, and that's really kind of fun, where you just start sewing everything together. But yeah, we have these. Let's just 3 them up, and I'm not even gonna think about it. It's gonna be these 3, and these 3. The end. Time to just sew. That's the nice thing about this improv piecing too, is that it just is fast, because you're not making tons of decisions, right? So I'm gonna just put these in order though, so I can keep them in order. So we have this grouping, and then this grouping on top. I'm gonna sew 1 row of each of these, and then we'll sew the other row of each. So I'm gonna start at the top, our first grouping. All right, then our second grouping. They're all like the exact same size. And third, these are some pretty purples together. It's nice when you're sewing multiple things together, because then you can always just keep chain piecing, but you do have to kind of keep track of what you're doing when you do that. So this was row 1, row 2, row 3. So I'm taking off just row 1 and grabbing the last piece of row 1, which is right here. And really, I'm not making huge decisions on what goes with what here, so if I messed up these rows, it wouldn't matter at all. Yeah, I feel like I get a lot, or it just feels good to chain piece. It feels like you're being so efficient, you know what I mean? All right, so this is the second row. Let's plop this guy on. I just love that you can just keep going. I feel like I'm, manufacturing something. Okay, and then this is the last one here, and then we'll give these a press and see how we can fit them together. I think we can crisscross them a little bit. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what size they end up being. Okay. Let's press them back over here. All right. So ultimately we need them this big, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Here's our other couple pieces. Get those out of the way. All right. Keep making my space messy in this little space here. All right, so these are not perfect squares, so we'll have to add to them. Wow, look at that. That's a pile of crazy right there, isn't it? Those are some crazy fabrics together, just oddball, bold fabrics. These are pretty too. These are like purples and teals, this one. And let's see what this last one ends up looking like. Okay, ooh, I like how this light blue is the same color as that light blue. All right, let's see what we can do with these now. All right, I was thinking that it'd be fun to crisscross them like this. Ooh, I got an idea. Maybe now this might be tall enough. So we could do like 2 up like this maybe. And how long is this? And ultimately we only need it this tall. Oh yeah, that would get us there. I wanted to do it kind of this way. Maybe I just have to do all 3 like this. That might be fine. That might do it. Why don't we just we'll just do it like that. Keep it easy. So we'll just sew this one to this one to this one. Kind of be done with it. They're a little different size, so we'll trim them when we're done. We'll just see what we get. So we'll do a little bit of trimming, but all in all, we're gonna be fine. Hello, Ashley. Yeah, with this improv piecing, it's all about what do I need to add to this other piece to make it long enough to fit with the other piece. All right, now we'll throw this guy right here. And we'll just have to trim the edge on that one a hair. I think this will be about the length that we need it to be to fit with that other piece. That's kind of a curvy seam, but I think we'll be okay. All right, back to the iron. Shimmying you guys back and forth here tonight. This is what it ultimately we need to match it to. Got this cool kind of like oblong 9-patch going on. I love how it's not perfectly matched. That's what this improv piecing is all about, I think. These weird little connections that you would never do on your own, you know what I mean? The only way you can get them is by not thinking about it. All right, that is our new piece. Let's see how it fits with our original piece here. So obviously we do need to trim it a little bit, but ooh, it is like just the right size. Awesome. I mean, maybe just off by like a little hair, but we're gonna live with that. So let's sew these together. I think we might still need a teensy bit to make it a square, but this is looking pretty cool, I think. Put those edges together and we'll just sew along here. And yeah, and then I do think we might need to figure out one long, weird strip to put on the end. But we'll compare it to our red square, the size that we're shooting for. And we'll press it first too, because that'll make it a little bit bigger. Full speed! Okay. Let's go over to the iron and press this right away and give it a look. Give it a look-see. I keep forgetting that I can actually use the weight of this iron. I'm still borrowing my friend's iron. I forgot to give it back today. I'll have to give it back tomorrow. Oh, this is just close to square. Not quite, though, I think. Ooh, I'm liking it, though. It's just goofy looking. But all these just bright, crazy fabrics. All right, let's compare it to the red square. So this is what we need it to end up being, this size. Let's just compare here. Ooh, we might just be there. We might just be a hair shy, but too shy for me to worry about it. Yeah, I think we're good. So I'm just gonna trim. Let's just trim this purple off just a hair. And call it a day. I think we needed to trim a little bit there too, but I think this will be fine. All right, we're sewing these together. I think that is enough to make that square enough for our purposes. You know, I am going to use that pencil again. I think that was easier for me to see and use the long ruler than I think it would be to fold, just because I am in this like little itty bitty space. And these squares are huge. All right. So again, I'm going to sew on either side of this line, on both sides of this line, by 1/4 inch, and I think we are right sides together. We're as matched up as we're going to be. So man, yeah, those pieces just worked out perfect. So I'm guessing, you know, I mean, they're cut from the fat quarters that we had originally in fat eighths, so they were all like the same amounts and stuff, and yeah, it just worked out real nice. Just right, in fact. Ooh, going over some bumps in there. All right. Side number 1. Rotate it around. Get side number 2 going. I'm hoping we don't run out of, I just got the bobbin itch. I hope we don't run out of bobbin all of a sudden. Because this bobbin, I just put in a bobbin that I happen to have that had blue on it to match this top, but it wasn't completely full. Oh no, Gretchen, that's too bad. Little nightmares, little kid nightmares. All right, I'm gonna just trim this with the scissors again because it's big. I think it'll just be easier. So down the diagonal. And let's see what we get. I'm kind of stoked. This one will be a mystery. Yeah, I think we'll finish this chevron tonight. Oh, I did not design my wedding ring, but it was designed by some artists in like some recent grads. So we feel like we were promoting helping artists out. So, oh my gosh, this is going to be the biggest chevron ever. But here's the one side, and remember this one has to go this direction because the other one went this direction. All right, so it's going to be matched up like that. Ooh, it's kind of like this weird brick thing going on, but let's press it quick first. Yeah, I think the big chevron's going to be cool, especially once it's on the back of the quilt. I think it'll just be kind of like a neat big focal point. And then, you know, we have those other big chevrons. We'll have a couple teeny tiny chevrons. And I don't know what we're going to do with the rest of the scraps. We'll have to make at least 2 squares out of the rest of the scraps and see what we get for that. But we need at least 2 more squares to make another chevron. 2 more improv piece squares that will match with the red. Ooh, that's kind of cool though. I like it. All right, next up. Barely fits on my mat here. It actually doesn't fit on the mat. Get the little ends there. Yeah, I want to get the I want to get this sewn together tonight, this chevron, so I can just show you how big it is too. Oh, that's cool, Gretchen. You'll have 2 design quilts. Yeah, really. Really, yeah, you could just have the quilt in either direction for sure. That's what's kind of fun. We'll have like the nice uniform side with all the like perfect chevron rows, and then we'll have like this crazy back. All right, so let's match this up again here. Okay, I forget what direction it goes in. So this is that one that we did already. Okay, so that one's going this way, so we need this one to go the opposite direction, which means like that. And yep, like that. All right. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Let's get those rows sewn together and see what we got. All right, I just need to make sure that I have that edge matched up here, the 2 edges, and then we'll just adjust as we sew down the line here. They're rough and wonky, but that's what we're going for tonight. All right, now that we're started, I'll even it out a little bit more here. All right. Oh, cheering me on. Yeah, I'm excited for this giant chevron. I think it's going to be really fun once we start laying out the back and deciding, you know, that's when we're really kind of designing all these weird things, seeing what they actually look like together. All right, let's press this, and then we'll just sew the two half chevrons together, and then we will be done with a giant chevron tonight. But yeah, isn't that funny that this, I mean, you know, this is not going to be any longer than last night, and last night we only did a teeny tiny chevron, so to do a little chevron or to do like a huge piece chevron like this, it's taking the same amount of time. So we're covering some ground with this big one, which is just kind of fun. All right, here is that. Ooh, I did not press this very well before. Ah, it's going quick. I'll have to give this a really good press when we're done with the back, but yeah, I did not press that well. I have a little kink in it. All right. Ooh, this is gonna be a trick to sew together too because it's so big. All right, so there's the one side that we just did. And ooh, I can barely reach. Here is the other side right here. Man, this is like a quilt on its own. So all right, I'm gonna fold them together. I didn't press the seams open, so I actually have locking seams this time, which is kind of funny. I'm gonna clip that right in the middle, and you know what? This probably, since it's so big and so floppy, it's probably gonna need like another clip or two. So let's get those out. We'll match up the top here. It'll just make it a hair easier. Less floppiness. And we'll just get it right in the middle there. You know what? I think we need a couple. And you know, since we didn't measure or anything, you know, some edges might be a hair longer than others, so I'm just going to actually correct that a little bit right now. This is just going to be a hair longer, this red. And let's get this bottom matched as best we can. Oop. All right, and then kind of even out the middles again. Do some kitty scratching. If you just scratch the fabric, it can move just like a little bit so you don't have to keep lifting it up and placing it. So I call that kitty scratching. Like you're scratching the head of a little kitty cat. All right, there we are. Let's sew that up, and then we got a chevron, a giant chevron. We'll press it yet though tonight, and then I'll show you. Yeah, you'll just see how big this is. I mean, it's getting to the point that it's that big that's hard to work with almost, like a real size quilt. Alrighty. Do I have any of that purple left? Oh, the solid purple, I do. I was actually considering a little while that being the back of the quilt, but I just did a quilt that has that purple as a back, so I'm like, yeah, we'll do this red. But yeah, if we want to throw in a couple extra little chevrons in places, it'd be cool to get that purple out again and maybe use it for that. Oh, this is like a decent size for like a baby quilt, like a really small baby quilt. it's when I'll show. I have no idea the size of it because we're just kind of totally improving it. So I'm just sewing pieces together, and whatever size it ends up being is what it is. So I have no idea the size of this, but I'll be able to show it to you in a sec here once I have it pressed. Then you can kind of get a sense of the size. I was just sewing together scraps, and whatever size the scraps end up being, that's what it's ended up being. And these are the scraps from the front of the quilt. So the front of the quilt is a twin size quilt. Oh, to make the whole, no, I mean to make the whole top in big ones. Ooh, like if you did the whole top in big ones, I think you'd probably have to still do like 3 big ones, maybe like this. At least, yeah, I would say, yeah, 3 or 4 of these really big ones to be the same size as like the twin size quilt. That's the size that I'm doing, is the twin. All right, so I think we'll just press along the line here, and then we'll kind of open it up, I guess, and give it a press. See if that works. Okay, now let's open it up. Fabric everywhere. Ooh, I need to scooch up the hair yet. Wasn't quite on the mat. This is where a bigger pressing mat, or a bigger ironing board. If I had the big ironing board out, that would be kind of nice right now. It's a huge chevron. But yeah, just a quilt with like a row of 3 here. Why do you press what you've just sewn? Because you need to kind of press the seam so it's flat. Then you won't actually know like the true size until the seam is flat, and it's harder to sew the next piece on unless you press each piece in between. So it's a way to just keep the process clean, because it's easier to sew a flat piece of fabric to another flat piece of fabric. So if you press it, then it's flat. Does the new Splendid Sampler 2 have its own Facebook page? Ashley, I'm guessing it's the same Facebook page. I am not sure about that yet. I did read up a little bit on the Splendid Sampler 2, and it sounds like they're going to be giving 20 of the blocks from the book away for free. And the quilt along with that is going to run from like June to November, I think, and then they're going to do the rest of the ones from the book. So they'll be continuing, but there'll be that 20 free to start out with. So I think we might do it. I still have to talk to them. I still have to ask, but I'm excited about that project too. We'll see. We'll see if we end up doing that. All right, I'm going to flip you guys around and I'll show you this big chevron, and we'll be done for the evening. Hello. So I'm backing you guys up so I can show you this. Alrighty, shaking a little. All right, here we are. This is the big chevron that we did tonight. So just like a super huge chevron out of all the little scraps, but I think it turned out so fun. You know, so the one side is just all the stripes going down. We didn't do anything really special with that, but then, you know, this one we had to fill it in with all these other pieces, but I love it. It's just a big chevron. I just think that's neat. It would be fun to do a quilt with just all the chevrons like that, all just giant chevrons. That was fun and quick. Like, you'd be done with a quilt top so fast, I think. But awesome. So thanks, guys. I will take a photo of this and get it up and get this on YouTube. So you can watch it there again if you want at Penguin and Fish Movies. And yeah, I think this is going to be fun on the back of the quilt. So maybe I'll try and get a photo of some of the other ones that we've done so far too, just so you can kind of see the size reference. I don't know where I'm going to take that photo, but we'll give it a go. So I'll show you guys that. It'll be part of the YouTube graphic. and maybe I'll post it up on the Penguin and Fish Crafters page too. So thanks again, guys. It was nice seeing you all again tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good evening. Good night.